Guys, welcome back to a new episode of the PS2 Collector. I am your host Gamer1994, and on today's episode I'm going to show you the latest 5 games that I have picked up. Stay tuned, you do not want to miss this. Starting off with game number 166 in our collection is table tennis and a game called Spin Drive Ping Pong. There's nothing much to say about this game. It's just table tennis and a very arcadey one, if you will. For me, the single campaign is very bare bones. It's just generic, but the best way to have fun playing this game is 2-player, but yeah, and that fun is very limited. But for only £1, if you do enjoy table tennis, just give it a go. You never know, you might just, and I mean just, like this game. Game number 166, Spin Drive Ping Pong. The next game, game number 167, is World Rally Championship Racing of 2001. And when I first played this game, I was astonished the amount of detail that was put in this game, because each race, when I tried different elements such as snow and rain and different dirt tracks, the dust and mud would appear on the car, as well as snow landing and settling on the car. For me at the time, for a game released in 2001, that amount of detail was absolutely unheard of, and I was surprised that I've not heard or played this game before. And another thing that I did enjoy is the amount of licensed cars that they have put in this game, and the detail, the amount of detail and depth of the cockpit. You can basically change the camera and look at the car's cockpit, and the amount of detail on that, you can tell that the developers wanted to make this game feel authentic and close enough to the real thing. And for me, that does not get commended enough. As a game, for me personally, you have to be a fan of rally driving to appreciate this game. For only £1, and if you do enjoy rally racing, give this game an absolute go. You won't be disappointed. On to the next. The next game, game number 168, is a forgotten franchise. Hope you guys remember, it's Bionicle. And in the early 2000s, Bionicle were absolutely booming. I remember I actually have characters, action figures of this game, but the PS2 game was a huge disappointment because it was absolutely mediocre. The camera were absolutely horrible and a disaster in my opinion. The game feels rushed as it was very, very short in length. You could complete the game within a day. That's how short this game was. It got absolutely destroyed by reviewers, and the game, damn right, is terrible. The only consumers that would play this game are the fans of the series and little kids at the time. You can tell the developers were definitely aiming at that demographic. But for £2, I would avoid, because it's just not a good game in my opinion. And that's game number 168, Bionicle. On to the next. And the next game, game number 169, is one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time on the PS2, and that is Red Faction. So Red Faction released all the way back in 2000, and for me this game is absolutely blast to play. I remember playing the campaign. The campaign was absolutely amazing, but what made this game stand out was the multiplayer mode. And the multiplayer mode, the rocket launchers, you can shoot the rocket launchers as far as you can, and I never seen a game do that since. And yeah, this game was a huge success on the PS2. It sold more than 1 million copies. But for me, what makes this game forgotten is Halo came out a year later and defined first-person shooters forever, and that made a lot of people forget Red Faction. And that's why Red Faction it has came out on the PS4. If you go to the PS2 so you can play it there, but it's become sort of a cult classic and an absolute hidden gem. And if you do enjoy first-person shooters, try one of the greatest to ever do it for only £1 for one of the all-time greats. Masterpiece. Go for it. You will not be disappointed whatsoever. Game number 169, Red Faction. The next game and the final game of this video, game number 170, is Rockstar's Oni. Now, where do I begin with this game? This game was developed by Bungie, who are famous for their Halo franchise. This game for me is an absolute definition of a hidden gem, cult classic, and a masterpiece. When I first played this game long time ago, I was amazed at the amount of moves that you can do in this game. It's an action beat 'em up and a third-person shooter. You can do weapon melees, multiple kick combinations, punching combinations, and each character in the game had their own moveset. And for me, this game was better on PC than the PS2. This game definitely, in my opinion, definitely needs a remake and remaster because it did not get the appreciation that it deserved at the time. The game did sell poorly and that cancelled any ideas of a sequel. But if Rockstar is watching this, please make a remaster and a remake of this game because I think there's a huge potential with the Oni franchise. And at the time, I could see what the game was trying to do, but it was just did not do well on the console version. But yeah, if you do enjoy cult classics, third-person shooters, and action beat 'em up, you got to give Oni a go. You will definitely not be disappointed. For £5, it's money worth spending. And for me, this game will always be one of my favorite games of all time. Oni for the PS2, game number 170, masterpiece. And that's the final game of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this, please click the subscribe button. If you want to know when my videos go online, click on the bell notification below. Anyways guys, as I always say, next time, don't forget to subscribe. Take care guys.